Hello stars, I'm Luminousz Ztarr. Welcome to the channel. Mwah! Thank you guys and gals so much for joining me today or tonight. And wherever you are right now, I certainly hope you are treating yourself well. Ever wonder why you're dreaming about the narcissist a little bit more lately? Okay, some of you may be having nightmares right now. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so there's 3 reasons right now you may be dreaming about your narcissist a little bit more. Number 1, we're in quarantine right now. Okay, so that means we have a little bit more time on our hands, whereas we're spending with ourselves and other people, because some of you may be living with cluster B personality types right now. So not just working with them, if you are still fortunate enough to have a job, right? Because, you know, in light of everything right now, there are a lot of people who are not only facing emotional challenges, but financial challenges. Spending a lot of time with narcissists and cluster B personality types right now due to being under quarantine, well, that's going to make things a little bit more dicey. Okay, so this may be one of the reasons why you're dreaming about your narcissist a little bit more. All right, because you're around them, you know, there's energy transferences. There may be some words exchanged that are not so nice. So all of that takes a toll on a person. So when you go to bed at night, or, you know, whenever you go to sleep, that's still on your mind. Being around narcissists and cluster B personality types, it can be spiritually heavy. Not only heavy on the mind and the heart, but also, again, spiritually. This is one of the reasons why some people don't look at scary movies or horror movies or read a horror book before going to bed, because subconsciously, well, actually it's still on your mind. All of that stuff is still in your mind. So you may have nightmares. It's the same thing with being around narcissists and cluster B personality types who may say and do things that are very upsetting to you. Okay, so being around him or her a lot right now can actually provoke or influence you to have more nightmares and dreams about him or her. Number 2, nostalgia. Okay, you may be thinking about the good old days and not so much the good old days, okay, right? But there are some things that may be still in your memory right now, and it may not be so pleasant. Some of it may be, but then there's also certain things that narcissists and cluster B personality types do, as a lot of us know, that sometimes leave the heart broken. What I was trying to say before I became tongue-tied is that sometimes it's even energetically heavy. Okay, we're talking about trauma bonds and enmeshments and these sort of things. Right now, a lot of us are spending more time around certain people that maybe we're not getting along with so much. And that again is due to the quarantine. So don't be surprised if you're dreaming about your narcissist or cluster B personality type a little bit more right now. Number 3, trauma. Okay, this, and again, all 3 of these things can contribute to your dreaming or having more nightmares about your narcissist or cluster B personality type. So if there are trauma bondings, of which I just mentioned, and also there's enmeshment, this means that there may be an issue with a sense of separateness. Okay, in other words, you are you and I'm me, and we're cool with that. Okay, we have a great sense of ourselves. We have a strong sense of ourselves. So when we have energy transference and we're in a relationship with each other, the lines doesn't become blurred. A lot of us who are dealing with cluster B personality types, whether it's, you know, within the workforce or on the home front, see, you know, the body remembers every experience. So this is something that we tend to carry. So when we go to sleep at night, it's still on our minds. It's still there, especially when we're not clearing out the energy. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm going to get to the tools in a minute, but that's one of the tools to clear out that energy, to release energy that no longer serves you. Okay, I got that out of the way. But when it comes down to spending more time with narcissists and cluster B personality types, don't be so surprised that if you're not having flashbacks, you're having more dreams about him or her. Tool number 1, keep a dream journal. Matter of fact, on that note, I have one, okay? I have a regular journal and I also have a dream journal. And I have another type of journal, but that's dealing with my finances. That's another video. Okay, but when you keep that dream journal, this gives you a sense of confidence, okay? Or it boosts up your confidence. How is that, you may ask? Well, you're taking back your life, okay? You're not feeling out of control so much. Because let's face it, when we're having nightmares, especially about our narcissism and custody personality type, right? Well, you may feel overwhelmed. When you have a dream journal and you're writing that down, it's like you're taking your life back. It's like you are empowering yourself. It's like you're snatching your power back from the narcissist and custody personality type. Now, I'm not saying that they're 100% responsible for making you have a dream, but when you're spending a lot of time with him or her and you're dealing with the shenanigans, yeah, let's just face it, it's not very pleasant. Therefore, that can influence you to have more nightmares during this time. Whenever there is an event in the world that's very, well, right now it's like a pandemic, that can cause people to have more flashbacks, nightmares, even night terrors. Think about when you put pen to pad, or when you take a tape recorder and you speak on it and you record your dreams. It's just like you're snatching your power back from the narcissist or the custody personality type, because now you're more in control. After feeling so out of control or overwhelmed by having the nightmare, now you're taking control by taking your journal and putting pen, okay, to that journal, and you're actually doing something. It's an action. So if you take a tape recorder and you speak on it, or you record your dreams or your nightmares that way, again, this is how you're going to take your power back. Tool number 2, have a support base. Right now, while everyone is under quarantine, okay, there's still some things you can do to have a support base. All right, no excuses. One way you can have a support base is to have a mentor. You may have to have a virtual mentor. Okay, the Luminousz Ztarr channel can be part of your support base. But if you have a virtual mentor right now, you may even have a virtual coach right now. Some of you have talked to me one-on-one, okay, during the chat. But I think you all get the picture. Right now, people are learning how to speak another language by watching a video or two. I know sometimes I go to a certain website and I'm learning certain things right now. And I'm brushing up on certain skills, okay? Even if you want to learn how to type, if you want to learn how to cook, whatever you want to do, this can be a part of your support base, because it gets your mind off of what the narcissist and custody personality type may be doing in order to obtain a narcissistic supply from you. A lot of us already know from experience that narcissists and custody personality types, especially when times are very stressful, such as right now, yeah, they tend to pick up on the shenanigans, okay? They tend to be a little bit more on edge than usual, right? So this means that he or she may be engaging in a little bit more diabolical tactics than usual to get the narcissistic supply. This means you may be feeling overwhelmed. Depression may increase. You may be feeling a little bit more uncomfortable right now. Therefore, this may influence you to have more dreams and nightmares about what's going on, okay, in the relationship, in the narcissistic codependent relationship. So right now, when you are having to switch up a little bit, as far as like your support base, you're not being able to get out a little bit more, right? So you can have like a virtual mentor. You can use social media as a tool, not a crutch. Getting out in nature a little bit more is another way, because sometimes you go out in the yard, you go out on your balcony, go out on your back porch, or wherever, right? Get out and get a little fresh air a little bit, okay? Make sure you're taking care of your overall health. So there's no excuse not to have a support base, okay? All right. Tool number 3, focus on breaking the habit that will keep you thriving forward past narcissistic codependent relationships, regardless of what's going on right now. Narcissistic codependent relationships, I have found, is a habit. When you look at the grooming process